And the beast itself was kind of an enigma because nobody knew what it was, where it was from, or why it had chosen Gévaudan as its hunting ground.
Even the king's best men couldn't slay the beast. So for years, the beast killed them.
The sounds of nature surround Jean Chastel. Birds calling to one another, the wind threading through the pines, the sound of branches snapping beneath his boots. But he feels no peace. He is on high alert as he trudges through the woods near Mount Mouchet on this summer morning in 1767. Jean is here on a mission, one that so many before him have failed. He's here to slay the beast. For months, groups of hunters have combed the woods searching for this beast that has been absolutely terrorizing the people of Gévaudan for 3 years now. They've returned with wolves that they believed were the beast. Even one of the wolves was killed by King Louis XV's own hunters. But the attacks continued. Fields streaked with blood, bodies torn open, villagers living in fear. But today is different because Jean refuses to let it continue. He will kill the beast. He moves carefully between the trees, musket at the ready, his hunting dogs beside him. But as he pushes deeper into the forest, something changes. The sound of birds dissipates. The insect hums go mute. Everything falls quiet. Even the air feels thicker, and Jean is overwhelmed with the urge to run. Even his dogs start to whimper. Something is not right. The silence is unnerving as Jean realizes that he is no longer the hunter. He is being hunted. He surveys his surroundings, trying to calm his heart rate, because he has to stay calm, right? He knows the beast is here among him. But where? He stands his ground, prepares his musket, and scans the dense woods. The only thing is, he doesn't know what he's looking for. No one seems to be able to agree on what this thing looks like, how big it is, whether it's one creature or maybe several. Some said it's wolf-like, others say dog-like, others say it's something wholly unnatural, enormous, misshapen. So Jean keeps his eyes peeled, doubt and fear seeping into his mind. Then, a single snap of a twig. The sound slices through the silence like a blade, and Jean jerks his musket up to his shoulder just as one of his dogs runs towards him, tail tucked and trembling. Behind the dog, hot on its heels, something emerges. An enormous, terrifying animal. It's almost like a wolf, but unbelievably and grotesquely large. And Jean is so close that he can see its glittering teeth, each one like a perfectly sharpened knife. And Jean knows instantly that this is the beast. The creature bounds closer and closer, closing the distance between itself and Jean, and then it abruptly skids to a halt, its claws tearing into the earth. It turns, and it faces Jean head-on. The beast fixes its yellow eyes on Jean, its lips curl back into a snarl, and it sizes Jean up, ready for its next meal. But Jean has been waiting for this moment. He swallows his fear, he aims his gun, and he fires.
What happened next? Did Jean slay the beast? You'll find out soon. Until then, let's go back to the beginning. Back to 1764 in the province of Gévaudan, France. Now, at this time, Gévaudan was a rural province in south-central France, a place with dense, dark forests, lots of farms, very few roads. So people who lived here were herding cattle, goats and sheep. They would forage in the forest. They lived in small stone houses. Gévaudan is a very remote area, and despite France being under the monarchy power of King Louis XV, it did take weeks for news from Paris to reach the remote area of this time, and probably a lot longer for news from this area to reach the city.
Oh, and that makes it a perfect hunting ground, right?
And in this case, people look to the Bishop of Mende, who's like the bishop of the area. So all this being said, this is just laying some landscape of this type of place. It was quiet, and it was a poverty-stricken area, but it was otherwise a peaceful place to live until June 30th of 1764.
Well, what happened on June 30th?
Death and despair.
So dark.
Very.
But it was dark what happened. That day, 14-year-old Jean Boulet was shepherding her flock of sheep. She was back on her family's farm, And it had been pretty much a peaceful day for her, very pleasant. The sun was shining bright across the fields and the sheep were bleating happily. They were grazing. Life is good. She's 14. So Jean is looking forward to getting home and just settling in for a restful night after she works the fields with her sheep and her family.
Mm-hmm. Which actually I did read that a lot of these families would sleep with their
flock?
With their flock for warmth.
Oh,
so they really were,
sweet.
they like slept with their sheep for warmth. I think that's so sweet.
That.
Yeah.
Sheep kind of scare me after watching the movie Babe. So she's looking forward to a quiet night at home and just hunkering down, maybe not sleeping with her sheep this night. But then, somewhere far down the path, she sees something. And it wasn't quite a dog. It wasn't quite a wolf. It was something much bigger and much scarier. And this thing was coming right at her. So Jean screamed. She turned around towards her flock of sheep and she tries to weave through these animals, hoping that maybe it'll go after one of them instead of her. But its focus stays on her. It is zigzagging. It is tracking her. And before Jean could get very far, she felt the weight of this beast upon her, bringing her down to the ground. To catch every terrifying moment, subscribe to @Crimehouse Studios on YouTube.
Because this time, you're not just watching the horror, you're understanding it.